completely different look. Okay. Oh, there's one of them scimitar horned orcs. So it's a ranch called Eteria in way South Texas. See, look at this. These are just wild. These are not fenced in. And there's all this crazy stuff that runs through here. When you're rattling bucks here, some of them come in, man, and they never stop, dude. They come in and they come and go at a run. Yeah. They come in like bam, in, shit flying. They're out the back door and that's it. So there's a company, DSD, Dave Smith Decoys. They make ultra realistic. They started out in geese, the big waterfowl guys. Ultra realistic decoys.
I figure that the exciting part will be see Rinella and the decoys and hunting and everything like that. If it's going to be like a documentary or whatever, you know, most of them have boring parts for sure. That's where I come in. My name is Dave Smith, and I am the founder of DSD, Dave Smith Decoys, and I never wanted to name it that. I wanted to call them Zombie Decoy Company.
See, that's a scrape that's been getting worked. We could sit right there. Yeah. We got the cut a little window, but that's no problem.
Our decoy is the first posturing buck the world has ever seen, so there's not a list of rules that you have to do yet. It might be 10 years from now before everyone figures out some super, super important things. Just forget the rules, go try, you know, crazy things that other people would think are just not going to work, and it's really cool, and you've discovered something that's a complete surprise.
As we experiment, we realize a couple of things. One, bucks are always going to try to get downwind of the rattling. Two, bucks are always going to be fixated on the decoy, but they're also going to be looking toward the source of the rattling. They know right where the noise was coming from. So it's not like they regard the decoy as the source of the rattling. Rather, they regard the decoy as being in addition to the rattling. For this reason, we develop a system where we place the decoy maybe 20 or 30 yards downwind from the rattler, and the hunter another 20 or 30 yards downwind from the decoy. This usually delivers the buck into shooting range and makes it so he's paying zero attention to the hunter. He's solely focused on the decoy and the source of the rattling noise.
The wind's all over.
And their attitudes toward the decoy are mixed. There's curiosity, territorial anger, but never suspicion. This buck comes in drooling.
So that's set for the day we had. We did 9 setups. Yeah. And called in 7 deer. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad to me. No, that doesn't feel bad to me. I'd like to interview a deer.
I bet he'd have a lot to say.
Oh, he'd tell you, if you could interview a deer about like stuff like that, you'd learn so much about hunting deer. Yeah. But you have to make sure the deer is being honest.
Hook him up to a lie detector.
Because if you interview the deer and he bullshits you, he's gonna throw you off on a weird path.
He's like, we spend all our time running around midday.
Everybody always tells me never read the comments, but I read the comments. I can't help it. And one of the first comments that I read was like, oh my God, what were they thinking? That thing looks like a donkey. Like, what are those ears doing? And so when everyone thinks of a deer decoy, They think of a deer decoy that's designed to not tip over, so its legs are splayed out and spread out, and it's usually in a really, really, really alert pose that looks alarmed. And then people are like, deer decoying, it's okay. You know, it doesn't work all that great. But that's why. It's because your deer decoy looks like it's terrified. You know, like there's a pack of wolves right next to it.
Grab your rifle just in case there's a shooter that kind of lingers on the periphery where Steve can't get a shot.
What? I need a head that looks like that.
Okay.
The one I have is terrible.
How about this one? One of these ones. I'll find you one before you leave and I'll cut
All
it off.
right, I appreciate it. That'd be awesome. So with the posturing buck, you know, the first thing I did is collect a whole bunch of reference material. And that was actually kind of fun because I had to go through every hunting video that I could get my hands on. But they still, every one of them does that posturing pose. It's the same thing like every time. I'm always just looking for an opportunity, and I'm trying to think outside the box and like, what are the things that nobody else thought of and that no one else paid attention to in nature? And that's where the opportunities come.
Just thinking about mixing it up with that decoy we did, but he's all pumped up. That was really cool. Dude, that never gets old, man, watching him like that. There's no avoiding spooking the hell out of that buck because he's gonna run us over.
I usually carve a foam armature and then cover it in clay and start cutting and carving details. But you gotta have patience and no life. And I have both of those. I don't understand, that wasn't a joke.
Our second day has us hunting a section of land that abuts a neighboring property where they put out a lot of deer feed and supplements and whatnot, and we're thinking maybe we'll rattle over a giant or two off that place. We don't really know the area well enough to know what a truly big buck looks like around here, but we've seen enough to know what looks big compared to everything else. But what messes with you is that you could hunt here for a week and probably not see every buck, because it's generally thicker than hell, and you only see what's right in front of you. And what you see in front of you is still a lot. I keep thinking, I'm glad I grew up in Michigan in the 80s rather than Texas right now. Because if the opposite was true, and I got to start here and then move there, I would have probably given up hunting altogether out of pure frustration.
There's bucks everywhere here.
Well, in my own goose hunting, I wasn't having the success that I really felt like I could have. And I used every decoy that was available, and none of them were working all that well. And the whole decoy industry was pretty complacent. They just weren't making really realistic decoys. And the general consensus was that, geese are just, they've got, pea-sized brains, and so it doesn't really matter, and we're just trying to lure them into gun range. And I just really felt like I had just way more respect for geese and birds and wildlife in general than that. It wasn't with the intention of ever selling them. I just wanted them for myself and my own hunting. And they worked really, really, really well. Finally, I thought, well, I'll just sell a few of them to help recoup some of my mold costs, and then you know how that goes. Next thing you know, you've got a full-on business.
Being separated from Steve, he probably thought the sit was over when that deer started snorting, so he got up. And that deer locked on Steve. Oh, shoot. He was big. Yeah.
Like what?
Like, the biggest buck we've seen so far.
Why did you shoot it?
My gun. He's in the brush.
You didn't like the looks of that 10-point.
He was just like, this buck blew him away.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Right there's a buck. What the heck?
He came back.
That wasn't him, that was a different
That was a different buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't that wide. He was nice.
I saw kickers.
Yeah. That's a different buck.
That's different buck. Completely different buck.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like,
Sweet, dude. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pointer.
genuine 13-pointer. Nice. First Texas buck. Awesome.
You can get pretty spoiled hanging out here, dude. It ain't nothing like growing up, man.
No. Man, when I was growing up, a buck like that in Pennsylvania was like you're hauling that thing down to the newspaper.
Oh, everybody in the planet would come over your house, look in your garage and shit.
Yeah.
You'd let it get half rotten in your garage, just waiting for people to come look at it.
Yeah.
So in the case with Steve, here he was in Texas with a posturing buck, and he was actually texting me, asking me like, what direction do you face it? How far from you? And some of those super basic questions. And I thought that was exciting because, with Steve, he's done just about everything on Earth, and it's neat that there's still things that are new for him. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to tell him or anybody that this is exactly what you need to do. There's times when a buck will come and will be head on to it. And in the case of decoying deer, like that's something that's new to a lot of us.
These are going downwind. Like the way it smelled. He just liked the decoy smell. Carried it over my shoulder. Probably smells a lot like it. Yeah, he liked the smell.
When rattling deer, I'd always found that the encounters were ephemeral. They happened fast, too fast. Sometimes so fast that you couldn't barely register what exactly happened. There was a stomping of hooves, a rush of hair, a flash of antler, and the buck was gone. You didn't even have time to draw your bow. But with the decoy, it enables us to sort of luxuriate in the presence of bucks, to watch them and learn from them and experience how they experience their world. And that is pretty damn cool.
I'll probably regret that. Oh man, he was a studly looking buck. Like, I thought he was gonna. Did you see how close he came? Yeah. I thought he was gonna gouge me if he got closer, so I had to go like that because I was like, I don't want him to get spooked and stick me. I mean, there's definitely bigger bucks, but he just like, he was mature. Dude, he was like body fired up. Yeah, that was cool. That was fun. He wanted to go in there so bad, though. I think. Yeah. He just. Oh, I'll regret that. I don't know. He might not. Trying to call to these bucks we can see in the distance, but they're harassing a doe and they won't budge. So we're just gonna try to Hail Mary it and try to get in closer.
kill Seth, so I couldn't let the buck get clear of the brush, but still.
That's that first day buck that came in with that smaller buck.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that has a real distinct Roman nose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't know that buck had that nose.
Yeah.
We're in that area, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, kinda.
No, it's good. Last day. Almost last afternoon.
You know, I just hope that my decoys and our efforts here brought people joy. That's really the bottom line. That's really what I care about. Is this one in the right spot? It looks like it's shooting right here. I guess that's about the right spot. I'm just trying to be the classic, having to tell you guys how to do your job. It's a miracle that I'm married. I don't know if you want to, the cat.
No, he does.
I hope you're not going to put that in there.